India has always been famous for its mysticism. This country is also a place for wonderful scenery, architecture, lands, and where religion and spirituality is still a part of everyday life. There is hardly any other place on earth where the 1,000-year-old tradition can be conserved at such a high level. This is the land where the 7 Maharishis lived. Maha means great, and Rishi means saint. They taught people sciences and arts, but besides teaching, they had some other activities that not many people are familiar with yet. They were at such high levels of purity and consciousness that they were able to see through time and space. With this ability, they were able to see the future lives of many people, including those who have not yet been born. Fortunately, they conserved their knowledge through the ancient technique of dried palm leaves for the after ages, for us. In fact, these leaves were written personally to us. They are meant to give us guidance in our very own individual life. And for 2,000 years, these leaves have been waiting to be found by their rightful owner. To find someone's leaf, a thumbprint is needed. For women, it is the left, and for men, it is the right. Even though our thumbprint is very unique, it can still be categorized by certain guidelines. There are 108 different types that exist in the tradition of palm leaves. Since our thumbprint works as a code, it allocates our personality, and for some extent, the tendencies of our life. Those people who have the same type of thumbprint have very similar personalities and walks of life. Likewise, the palm leaves are sorted into bundles according to the thumbprint and date of birth. These bundles contain approximately 40 to 50 individual palm leaves. As the palm leaf reader gets the thumbprint, he defines the type and proceeds to the main library. He then retrieves 2 to 3 bundles that match the thumbprint the closest. Once he has the bundles, it is time to do the matching process through live video connection. At the beginning of every palm leaf, there is a matching chapter. It contains accurate information of our lives: our name, the name of our parents, the names of past and present relationships, the date and time of our birth, our job, studies, the number and gender of siblings and children. There are also other significant events, such as accidents, operations, future plans, and thoughts. During the matching, the reader says one statement at a time from a particular leaf, and we only need to verify it with a yes or a no. As long as our answer is yes to the statements, he stays on that specific leaf. Upon getting the answer no, he passes that leaf and goes to the next one. Every statement needs to be correct on the leaf, and if all the information is correct, we know we had found the person's leaf. The next phase of the process is to have the content of the main chapter read. The palm leaf was not written from the person's birth, but from the stage of life when she or he faces the biggest crossroads, let them be spiritual, personal, or professional in nature. This is the period when people get to find their leaf. The present time of their life is profoundly described from many prospects, giving useful insights to the person from a deeper level, why and what is happening. Then the leaf talks about the future, divided into a few years span, depending on how long a certain main stage or tendency is. The future is always told in a way that can be taken in by the owner of the palm leaf. It is meant to provide guidance and not pressure. There is a past life that accumulated the most amount of karma, thus it has the most malefic effect on this present one, and in a reading one will be told about these events. On top of that, the last chapter of the leaf contains remedies that help balance the negative effects of the present period, of our birth chart, and it can also minimize the karmic impacts of our past lives. Not only do we get a useful guidance for our lives, but we also gain effective tools that can take our life to a happier, more fulfilled state of existence. Richard Babbity and Vera Sikeli have been transcribing palm leaves and have helped over 1,000 people find their leaves and learn their meanings. Richard and Vera, there may be some people who might have doubts about this phenomenon and its process. It is hard to imagine that in India on 2,000-year-old leaves can contain the name of my father, mother, relationship, and any other specific information. Some people can think that you get the information from other sources and not from the palm leaves, such as private investigators, Facebook, or from a federal database.
If we consider how much a private investigator charges an hour and what the fee of the palm leaf reading is, then we immediately see that this activity would not be profitable. Furthermore, we would need to pay them from our own pocket. It wouldn't make too much sense to do this. Also, there are informations on the palm leaf that wouldn't be possible to detect. Plans, ideas, secret lovers, or for example a lady who was 2 weeks pregnant and her mother happened to meet this fact at the matching. And there are a lot of people who don't use any social media, elderly people for instance. We can find a leaf as well without any problems.
Okay, but how could 7 people write so many leaves?
To be precise, they didn't write it themselves, but dictated it to their disciples. Their lifespan was not the same as modern people's. There is no reason to be surprised. Even the Bible talks about people who live for hundreds of years, and we can find them in the legends of every culture.
And where are the palm leaves stored?
In India, in certain temples where no outsiders can enter. Even the reader of the leaves have to stop at a certain point, and they need to wait there until the keeper brings the wanted bundles.
Why did the Maharishis write them?
Well, out of compassion. It is as if you saw what your children were to face in their future, the tendencies, the people, the ups and downs. You would want to help them with such an insight, right? You would try to say as much that would help, but not so much to prevent them from making mistakes and gaining experience. You wouldn't push them too much, just to advise them. This is the attitude these ancient saints had, but they could see things on a much wider scale, more precisely, and they wrote it down to millions of people.
If all these future events and people read from the palm leaf comes true in our lives, what about free will?
That's a really interesting question. The Buddha said to the people, they may address any questions to him except 3. Does God exist? Is one soul immortal? Does free will exist? The question of free will has always divided the philosophers, and each religion interprets it in different ways. To answer this question, we can reach to our own experiences. What we see is that there are certain main events, participants in our lives, who will show up at a point definitely. But how we react to them is what's free will. The how, not the what. I know this is a controversial, dividing topic, but we have to say, according to our own experience, if someone is told that the relationship will be there in November, it will be there. If I prepare myself for it with dignity, or I just go to parties before it and don't respect the forthcoming situation, that is free will.
Is it not a self-fulfilling prophecy? Relationship, health problems, changes in jobs, won't they happen because we have priorly set our minds to them?
On one hand, we must say that without recognizing it, we keep on asking others' opinion about the main areas of our lives. If we have a new partner, we ask for evaluation from our parents and our friends, and also if we want to change our job. In this case, the advice comes from someone who, though is not alive today, could see things much clearer and more impartially than any of our relatives and friends ever could. On the other hand, if we are told to watch out because in 2 years we might face stomach problems, we get a huge chance to change our diet and habits, and go through it without any serious consequences. It definitely will happen because it is in our destiny, but this way we can make certain arrangements to help experience in the best possible way. For example, there was a man who was told from his palm leaf that he will have a car accident because it is in his destiny. But the leaf also wrote how he can avoid being injured. After a few months, we got a call from him saying that he did have a major car accident, but he got out of the car without even a bruise. There was another case where a lady was obsessed with someone even though everybody around her said that the man only takes advantage of her. Her palm leaf talked about this also, plus that by next May, a new man will come and be a part of her life. The reading also contains specific characteristics of this future man and that he is going to be a worthy partner, and he came. Now the lady sees what she has not seen before and lives happily with this new man.
Can we alter the future?
Well, yes and no. Certain points, people, events necessarily show up in our lives. It's a no. But with consciousness in our work, we are able to change the quality of our life. It is a yes.
How many people have a palm leaf?
It's hard to say an exact number, but we know for sure not every person on earth has a leaf. We heard 110 million, but it can only be an estimation.
If not everybody has a palm leaf, who are the ones who do?
The main principle could be regarding the palm leaves, that if one person's life changes, it has a direct effect on the surrounding 5-10 people. The closer we come to this present age, we see that to more and more people a leaf was written. Around 2000 years ago, probably only 1,000 had a leaf. The biggest number of leaves is in this era, because nowadays the perplexity is at a never-seen level amongst people. It is also very interesting that there are no leaves for people born after 2050.
Why is that?
Presumably, they will live in an age and civilization where order is restored at deeper levels, and people will have much stronger intuition. One will be able to see clearly his or her life, asking and getting guidance from within if needed.
How much time does it take to find someone's leaf?
Finding it is not long at all. As we get the thumbprint in person or through email, we send it to India, where the reader checks it and determines the type. With this information, he goes to the library where he receives 2-3 bundles of palm leaves. Then we can start the matching. Usually this process is not more than 1 to 6 days. The matching takes about 30 to 45 minutes. Once we had found the specific leaf, we can start the reading and get to know the content of it.
Does the person need to be present physically throughout the matching and reading?
Well, the good news is that in this age, when technology is so advanced, we can do the whole process through conference call with live video. The people don't even need to leave their homes to get to know the content of their palm leaves. It's fast and comfortable at the same time.
And how can I know if I have a leaf?
We can say if someone has, that person will meet this information at a certain point in their life. The leaf is not written from someone's birth, but from a specific age. The Maharishis had seen which will be the stage of life when the person will face a crossroad financially, professionally, or spiritually, and started to write the leaf from that point. It can be the age of 25 or 68. It can be any age. So once someone gets to this period of their life, everything starts working around them so that they can get to know the content of their personal palm leaf and receive guidance that can help. If it's time, it will happen.